What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kemple with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm super pumped. I love my artists. You guys know I love them so much. Please welcome a special guest. She has been singing in church at a very young age. The influences of church and her mother's love of blues music gave her the foundation to venture into the world of blues. In 1996, she joined BMW, the Blues Music Works, under the influence of Big AL Leavitt. Please welcome Pittsburgh's Lady of the Blues, Miss Freddye. Miss Freddye, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody.
Woo! Oh, I'm so excited. We've already been talking for a little bit here before we started recording, but can you please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Well, hi, I'm Miss Freddye. I am a mom and I'm a nurse. I work in surgical oncology, dealing with the cancer patients pre and post surgery. And I am a singer. I played a tambourine, if you count that as an instrument, which I do.
For sure.
And I actually have 3 acts that I'm in. My blues band, my acoustic band, Miss Freddye's Homecookin band, Miss Freddye's blues band, and then the acoustic guitar player. We have been doing duo for years, and I'm like, we need a name. And so we are called What a Pair, like in all caps.
That's cool. I love it.
So I'm a person who mixes my nursing and my music together at least 80% of the time. And it's fun, it's uplifting, and it could be also a little bit of love in there, because I love doing the slow blues ballads, to bring about something. And I also like to sing about hope. Yeah. So that's who I am in a nutshell. I'm this person that have these, like, I write poetry. I'm taking up cornhole again. Yay. I used to play that. We used to call it beanbag when I was little.
What is it? Wait, what is it?
Cornhole. I'm taking up playing cornhole again.
Is that an instrument?
No, it's a beanbag. You toss a beanbag toss.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking that up again.
I was like, what is that? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Okay, well, thank you for lots of questions. So when you say you implement your singing with your nursing, what do you mean by that? So do you go into where you work to perform for your patients, or like what do you mean when you say that? Well,
before the pandemic, there is a program here in Pittsburgh called Music Smiles under the Sonny Pugar Memorial Foundation. Okay. Sonny and Annie Pugar, they started a music foundation years ago. Sonny was a drummer, and he ended up passing away of pancreatic cancer some years and years ago. Yeah. And so his wife kept it going. Annie, God bless her. She has contracted musicians to go in area hospitals, nursing homes to play music for the patients. I love doing it, but my favorite place to go is the children's hospital because kids are resilient, and I love it. And my last show was like a week before we actually went on lockdown here where I live at. And I played in children's. And I remember my last song that I did, and I watched this little girl and her parents. She was just sitting there, her head turned from side to side looking. I said, I'm going to get this little girl going. And I started singing, I Can See Clearly Now. That has a lot of meaning for a lot of people, but to me, it's uplifting. No matter what you're going through, the pain, the anguish, that you can see. Where no one else can see. And she got up and she was clapping and dancing. And I went over with the microphone. Thank God it was a 100-foot microphone cord. And she started singing with me. And then when I was done, her parents thanked me. They said that was the most liveliest that they've ever seen her.
Oh my gosh.
She's been in the hospital.
Tearing up over here.
Oh no. And
that's got makeup on, girl. Oh my God. I love those kind of stories.
So I love singing to people, and especially people that are going through something, especially in the hospital, the nursing homes. I love the nursing homes because the senior citizens, although I call them people who are older than me, been in this world more than I have, they love it. You don't get the reaction, say, like a younger crowd with the clapping and the yay, but when you're done, they come up to you and it's like, you have a beautiful voice. Oh, that one song you sang about such and such. And I just love doing that. I think that is the greatest gift that you can give others, is to sing for those who are in the nursing homes, the hospitals.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well, for me, I love music. Music is just like it's so healing. And if I'm going through a hard time, it can really turn my day around. And I turn to it, often, throughout my whole life. I mean, my father was a musician. I mean, my father was a deadbeat. I don't really talk about him very, very, very positively. But one thing that I remember that was good was that he would play his guitar and he would sing. And it's just like, I think that being around that as a young child and growing up, for how he wasn't around for a long time, but that like really influenced me, that I just love music and I love musicians. I wish I would have learned. I started learning how to play the piano, but I didn't stick with it. And my voice is terrible. You don't want me to sing, or else I would have loved to sing. I mean, I sing like in the shower, at home, if I'm getting down in the car, I have no shame. I'm going to get down, but I just really think that it's so necessary. So thank you for what you do and how you're touching people's lives that, that are going through maybe some health issues or something like that, because they need you, we need you. We need you.
Oh, thank you. And you're welcome. You should take a piano. I'm just saying.
But girl, look at my nails. See, now I love my nails. All right. I'm a little high maintenance. I'm not going to lie. I tell my boyfriend, I said, listen, I said, you know what? I might be a little pain in the ass sometimes, but got to keep it looking tight.
That's true. That's very true. Hence why I won't play guitar. Because at 16, I taught myself to play guitar, play the flute, the violin, and the viola. This is all self-taught. And of course, I don't do it anymore. And I own an acoustic guitar. I bought a flute. And I'm not cutting my nails. I'm not. And my guitar players are like, you can't do that. I can use a pick. Well, no, what are you going to do? Your hand is up on the fret. You can't.
Yeah.
So they're like, just forget it.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm sure. Well, I don't know if you're comfortable with this, but would you sing something for us, before we let you go today? I mean, we still have a little.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I had to ask you this question before we started recording, and I want to kind of talk about this because I've had, I love talking to artists. I talk to a lot of you guys, and my aunt is a musician. I have a lot of people in my family are musicians, and I know it was really hard for her last year. So can you talk to us about like how you got through last year and how that affected you with your music?
Yeah, last year was tough. I mean, in this lifetime, I've never been through anything like that. And I had 4 shows last year. And then as it got closer to the end of the year, I did a couple outdoor shows, but then the rest were canceled because of the pandemic. And I started writing poetry again. And I actually released a single, first time I've ever released a single, because I've released a couple albums before that. And then when I started singing live out again this year, I realized I was in a place of sadness and depression the whole time. I'm on social media, uplifting people. There is no negativity, period, even before the pandemic. Right. And even, now, I just don't.
I agree.
I said, I have friends and family that do the craziness. If you want to do that, that's all on you.
Yeah.
But my goal is, if I'm going to keep doing the music, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. I am not going to go down to the point, somebody may be depressed. Like, why would I do that? And I was in a state of depression and I did not realize it.
Yeah.
And being a nurse, and sometimes you don't realize what you're going through because you're too busy trying to help other people get through what they're going through.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place to be. And so it has taught me to, one, really focus on self-care. That's the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Yeah.
Totally. And I've done that. And I used to get very overwhelmed on my schedule, not the nursing schedule, the music schedule, because I was gigging every weekend, 2-3 times a week while working, maintaining my household. And I used to get very overwhelmed. And now that I'm going through this pandemic still, and I'm singing out live, I now prioritize and I don't get overwhelmed, because I used to open up my calendar not the personal life calendar, the music calendar. I'm like, I'm closing that. It's a little bit too overwhelming. Now I open up, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Yep. Okay. That date is still good. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So how do you, and I mean, you kind of just talked about this, but you know, being a nurse, I mean, I know that as a first responder, well, I mean, I don't know if you consider, you consider you guys a first responder? No, that's like the ambulance.
Well,
You guys
yeah,
fall in that
first responders
category.
first responders would be like your paramedics, your EMS.
Okay.
You know, if you work in emergency room, if you're doing trauma, you know, I consider those are the firefighters. I
Right.
consider those people and us, but I know they've called in bedside nurses, you know.
Sure.
But first responders are those that are right there on the scene. That's how I look at it. A lot of people may interpret it differently, and that's fine.
You guys are like in there as well. I mean, I kind of put you in that category a little bit, but you guys work crazy hours. I know that you would do 12-hour shifts.
I used to, but this nurse, after all these years, I do the, you know, the 9 to 5 kind of thing, Monday through Friday, no weekends, no holidays. I no longer do on call. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. I've been there and done that.
Sure.
You know, and so my nursing that I do is surgical oncology.
Yeah.
We deal with pancreatic, rectal, and colon cancer. So it's a different kind of an animal. It's a sad kind of an animal, but at the end of the day, I know that I've worked very hard, you know, making sure that the patients are okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove. Ladies, let's talk about shapewear. We all know most shapewear makes you feel like you're being suffocated. That sexy dress in the back of your closet is so freaking cute, but the thought of having your inside squished by your shapewear is just not worth it. That's why Honeylove spent years researching and developing effective shapewear that's actually comfortable. Overly tight, cheap, and sticky fabrics that roll up are a thing of the past. Thanks to Honeylove, you can finally feel confident and comfortable in your favorite outfits. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time only, you can get Honeylove's best deal they offer. Get 20% off your entire order with the code LABELFREE20 at honeylove.com. That's right, ladies. Get 20% off of your entire order with LABELFREE20 at honeylove.com. Yeah, that has to be pretty intense. And I guess that kind of brings me to my next question. You know, having to find that balance to actually implement that self-care, because I'm all about self-care. When it comes to that, I'm probably a little selfish, only because I have the capacity to run myself into the ground, and I will go until I just like can't go anymore. And that's just not good for me or for anyone else, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm now on the other side where, you know, I'll get invited to stuff all the time. And I tell my boyfriend, I'm just like, but I need to stay home and take care of me. You know, and part of having this podcast, it's important for me to be out there and be social and be a public figure, what have you, and promote the podcast, because obviously I want my guests to be successful. I want them to have a good response. I need to get, you know, I need to continue to build my audience. But let me tell you, like, I don't always want to go out. Like, and if I don't want to go out, I'm not going out. Like, home.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, instead of now gigging every weekend, I'm very mindful. Like, as soon as things started to open up, I'm booked.
Yeah.
Except I noticed on my calendar, I have one weekend out of every month. This weekend, no gigs. Next weekend, no gigs. It's the holiday weekend. I had a chance to do something, but I'm like, you know what? My oldest wants to cook out with his family, so I'm going to go visit them. My boyfriend is probably going to do something, you know. I said, I need to go and enjoy my family. Yay.
Good. That's good. That's good. I love that. But you know what, though? You are so blessed to be so booked, because I feel like a lot of musicians they struggle with that, you know, trying to find opportunities. And so how do you get so many great opportunities? Can you maybe like school any other artists that are out there listening? If you guys have questions, make sure when this episode releases that you put the questions below. I'm sure Miss Freddye would love to help answer those.
Absolutely. You know, in the beginning, when I finally struck out on my own in the early 2000s, I left BMW. It was hard. No, I mean, people, you know, club owners knew who I was, but they weren't sure because now I'm on my own. I was no longer with Big Al. And so I had to work hard. But first and foremost, you have to surround yourself with people who are on the same page, musicians, same chemistry, the same feel. You're not going to agree on everything, thank God. Because if they agreed with me every single time, it would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
And, it took me years to finally form the two bands and have the right people that were on the same page.
Yeah.
And you have to keep at it. And I have to tell you, Deanna, up until about 2 years ago, every year I would say, okay, this is the last year, no more gigging. I'm done. I want to just, come home, clean house, be a nurse, go hang out with family and friends.
Yeah.
And then there's always that one gig that's like pulls me back in. And so I stopped saying it.
Yeah.
I just said, it's not for me to stop.
Yeah.
My motto is what I do is not mine to keep. So there you have it. And I just tell people, continue to build on your craft. There's always opportunity to keep learning what you're doing. Yes, you've probably been playing guitar for 1,000 years. Well, okay, that really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
How about now? How can you hone in on that? And remember, even though you might join a competition of some kind, guess who you're competing with? You're competing with yourself the day before.
Yeah.
Always.
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
You're competing with yourself 3 years ago. Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tell musicians starting out and songwriters, I'm not a songwriter, but surround yourself with those who love writing about whatever is going on. You have that same connection, because at the end of the day, you will pick up and you will learn something and you will find that it's just as enjoyable as you producing that music too.
My gosh, I love it. I don't think you could quit. So like I said, my aunt is, she's a performer, she's a musician, and I feel like it's just in your blood, like to be like that performer. And you were just born that way to do stuff like that, to entertain people, to bring, that joy and that life to when you step on that stage. I consider myself an artist, but in a different way, like creating these, having these shows, doing this, because it takes the same, I feel like it takes the same amount of energy,
Yeah.
to be a host, to talk to you, to like have a good conversation and to put this out there into the world. So I get it. Like, I don't think I could ever give this up now, because I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm supposed to be talking to amazing people like yourself and introducing you to the world. I just feel like that's what, we're put here to do certain things, and we can't turn away from it.
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate, those as of yourself who do this, because I tell people, I said, it's a way of connecting.
Yes.
And actually, I was interviewed by a young man out of Georgia, and we've actually become friends. And he sent me a song that he wrote. His band has already done it. And I listened to it and I immediately fell in love with it. And I said, that is very rare for me to listen to a song. Yeah. And we're friends now. And now he's going to be writing some songs for me. So it's about staying connecting. And that's what I say. If you're on the same page, you have that chemistry, it's right there. Because he and I talked for 3 hours. I met his family.
Damn, girl. That's insane.
The interview was like way over. But like I tell people, and even when my job is 90% of my job is talking to patients on the phone. So I have to build a trust.
Yeah.
Number one, the tone of my voice.
Sure.
And one time, like a couple years ago, because I've been in this job 2.5 years, I was just like feeling, and then I picked up the phone and I started talking. And this was somebody that worked in another department. She's like, what's the matter with you? And I had to quickly, and I said, please forgive me for this lie, Lord. I said, oh, I'm just reading something. She's like, mm-mm. She said, I've known you long enough. What's the matter? And I said, I'm just having a bad morning. It hasn't even started yet. And I said, from now on, if I'm sick, upset, depressed, I'm not going to show that on the phone. I'm not.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Sometimes that's hard to do.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? I've gotten through it. And as soon as I start talking to like one of the patients on the phone, or just, my whole attitude changes. I find out who the patient is and I know that they're going through something, and it's my job, as that nurse, as the surgeon's nurse. The surgeon is depending upon me to take care of business.
Sure.
And I have to develop a trust. And so our patients, I get a lot of patients and I love them, because the first thing after they say, this is so-and-so and so-and-so, I'm so sorry to bother you. And then I say, you know what? Remember I told you, you can call me. Yeah. I said, it's okay. You're not bothering me. Something's going on. So that's why you're calling me.
Yeah. So. Oh, that's beautiful. You got a beautiful heart and beautiful spirit. I love it.
Thank you.
Can you plug, before we start wrapping things up, I want you to plug all your links, and then I'm going to have you sing a little something for us before we close things out. Okay.
Well, you can find me on social media. You can find me on Facebook. Go to Miss Freddye, MissFreddye, as you can see in the background there.
Yeah.
And like my page. I'm on Twitter, Miss Freddye 17. I am on Instagram, Freddye Stover. Go there and start following me. You can follow me on Pafoma. That's a new artist link out of the UK. Pefoma. Oh yeah, I'm all over the place. Go on Spotify, add me to your playlist. Go on YouTube, just type in Miss Freddye. Type in Miss Freddye on the internet and go to my website, missfreddye.com. I'm all over the place.
Awesome. And I will put all those links in the description of the episode so you guys can easily access her and go follow her, support her. We got to support our artists, our musicians, and make this world a much better place. So I'm going to let you pick what you're going to sing for us today. So go ahead. Let us hear something.
Well, my latest single came out April 24th in lieu. That's when my mother passed away back in 2015. And my siblings were, they're still going through something with the passing of our mother, and my nieces and nephews. And then with what's going on today, all the issues. My producer chose this song that I'm covering called Something to Believe In. And you can find it all out there, you guys. So make sure you take a listen and like it.
Okay.
Everybody's searching for answers. Everybody's trying to find some meaning in their lives. Where do we belong? Who will be our shelter? Looking for salvation, a haven in the storm. We all need something to believe in. Yeah, we all need a light to see us through. We all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you. I was like a wayward ship drifting out to nowhere, tossing in the raging waters, trying to find my way home. You must be an angel watching over me. Your loving arms, my harbor. Now I know I'm not alone. We all need something to believe in. Yes, we do. We all need a light to see us through. We all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you. That's my latest single. Go check it out on Spotify and YouTube, everybody.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my goodness, Miss Freddye, this has been an honor to talk with you today. Do you have any last words of wisdom or advice you'd like to leave with the audience before we say goodbye?
I do. There is a song that I have taken the title and I have shared it, and I actually still cover that song, written by Eric Bibb. And I tell people, no matter what you're going through, no matter what the issue is, no matter who it is, just remember this: No matter what, no matter who, don't let nothing or no one drag your spirit down.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Amen to that, sister. Thank you so much for being a guest. You know, you'll have to come back and share with us what else you got going on, because I know that you're going to continue to get out there and kick some ass while taking care of yourself at the same time. And I can't wait to like sign up for all your music and listen to what you got out there in the universe. So thanks so much for being
Absolutely. Here. Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. And thank you so much. God bless and stay safe. Take care. Love you.
Love you too. All right, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Kumpel with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, follow, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.